Chijioke's small electronics stall was once filled with customers, his reputation in the market solid. He worked hard, proud of his ability to provide for his family. He was married to Ngozi, a supportive wife, and together they had 2 sons, Emeka, 12, and Chidi, 8. But everything had changed. His business was crumbling. The goods that once sold well now sat collecting dust. He could no longer keep up with the bills or pay for his son's school fees. His wife's patience was wearing thin, though she remained silent. The weight of their struggles hung between them like a dark cloud. Chijioke tried everything he could think of, offering discounts, staying late at his stall, even borrowing money from friends. But nothing worked. His competitors, like Cola, flourished as his own stall withered. Desperation consumed him. He needed to make a decision, something drastic. One cold night, Chijioke remembered the herbalist, a man of strange powers who lived on the outskirts of town. Chijioke had heard whispers about the herbalist's abilities to turn fortunes around, though at a heavy price. In his desperation, Chijioke went to seek him out. The herbalist's home was dark and eerie, nestled deep in the forest. The old man didn't question Chijioke's arrival. He already knew why he had come. "I can help you," the herbalist said cryptically, "but the price is blood." The conditions were simple but chilling. Bring your father's clothes, a token of your family's past. Collect sand from your competitors' stalls at midnight where their business thrived. Find a woman who loves you, a girl innocent enough to carry the ritual's curse. Chijioke's heart raced, but with his family's survival on the line, and since the ritual did not affect his immediate family, he didn't hesitate. He agreed. In exchange for wealth, he would sacrifice his family's honor. Chijioke followed the herbalist's instructions. He found Amaka, a young, trusting woman who was kind to him. She had no idea what she was about to become. Chijioke, believing he had no other choice, convinced her to participate in the ritual with his constant monetary gift, and she succumbed. The herbalist's curse began to take hold as Chijioke performed the dark ritual, bringing together the sands from his competitors' stalls and offering his father's trousers in exchange for power. Chijioke's business began to flourish. Customers rushed in. His shop was no longer a ghost town. He was the market. His competitors, one by one, began to falter. But with the wealth came the shadow. Amaka began to change. Her once bright eyes dulled, her smile became a cold mask, and soon she transformed into a massive black snake, its glowing eyes mirroring the darkness that had taken root in Chijioke's soul. As Chijioke's wealth grew, so did the demands. The herbalist returned. "I have given you success, but the price is not yet paid," he told Chijioke. "Now you must offer me your firstborn." Chijioke's heart dropped. His firstborn, Emeka, was only 12 years old. The love he had for his son was boundless, but his desperation to maintain his newfound wealth drowned out his fear. He agreed. That night, Emeka's life was taken, a sacrifice to the spirits of the market, the evil forces that now controlled Chijioke's every move. But once the second sacrifice was made, things began to fall apart. The wealth remained, but something else started to change. Chijioke fell ill. His health began to deteriorate rapidly. Fever, weakness, his once powerful body felt frail. The snake, Amaka, slithered around the market, continuing to collect the blood money. The strange wealth continued flowing in, but Chijioke could feel something terrible closing in. He was sick, and no matter how much money he made, he was being consumed. One evening, as Chijioke's strength faltered, he could no longer hide his condition from Ngozi. His fever was uncontrollable, and he knew his time was running out. In a tearful confession, Chijioke told his wife everything. He spoke of the pact with the herbalist, of the sacrifice of their son Emeka, of how he'd sold his soul for money. Ngozi's face twisted with anger and betrayal. "How could you?" she whispered, shaking. "How could you take our son's life for money, for power?" Chijioke fell to his knees. "I was desperate. I thought I could fix everything. Please, Ngozi, I didn't mean to—" Before he could finish, Ngozi stood up, furious. "You killed our son, and now you've ruined us. I don't know you anymore, Chijioke," she said through clenched teeth, voice breaking. "I'm leaving." She packed her things and took their second son, Chidi, and walked out of the house, leaving Chijioke broken. Ngozi, furious and heartbroken, fled to the local church with Chidi. She told the pastor everything, how her husband had sacrificed their son, the horrors he had brought upon their family. She cried, begging for guidance. The pastor listened quietly, then placed a hand on her shoulder. "You must not run from your husband, Ngozi," he said gently. "Running from him may seem the solution, but the evil is not in Chijioke alone. It is in the market. If you run, it will still come for you and your son. The demon is after your family, and it will continue until it has taken everything." He paused, looking at her with deep wisdom in his eyes. "You must fight the demon, fight it head on. Only by confronting this evil can it be defeated. It will not stop until the curse is broken, and you must do everything you can to save your family." Back at their home, Ngozi returned with Chidi to confront her husband. Chijioke was lying in bed, feverish, his body racked with pain. His skin was pale and his breath shallow. He was a man dying, a man consumed by the very thing he had embraced. Ngozi stood by his bedside. She spoke to him quietly, her voice firm. "You've made the mistake, Chijioke, but now we will fight to break the curse. We will pray and we will win." They gathered together and Ngozi led the prayer, praying for deliverance, for healing, and for the breaking of the pact that had ruined their lives. The atmosphere in the room grew thick with tension. The snake appeared in the room, hissing loudly, its eyes glowing with rage. But Ngozi did not falter. She continued to pray. The house shook as though the very ground was rebelling, and slowly, like the rising of dawn, the snake began to burn away, disintegrating into nothing. The demon was gone. Chijioke's health began to improve. Slowly but surely, his strength returned. But the price was clear. The wealth he had gained was cursed, and now he had to pay the price. With Ngozi's guidance, he sold everything, his business, his possessions, his cursed wealth, and donated it all to an orphanage. He broke the pact. Chijioke started again, but this time he was not the man he once was. He worked hard. He had no wealth, no fame, but he had peace. His wife and son stayed by his side, healing from the trauma. The market no longer had power over him. He could sleep again. Every decision carries a consequence. What you gain through darkness will always demand a price. And sometimes that price is everything you love.